This series is brought to you by FEG PC, builders of bespoke computer systems designed for sim racers. Check out their website in the description below. Welcome everyone to Barcelona, Catalunya, brand new track on iRacing. So this is my first ever Learn the Track round here. We're going to be doing it in the Mercedes AMG GT3 in the VRS Sprint. I'm using dynamic weather, dynamic sky, so I don't know what the temperature is going to be until we get out there. This isn't a place for hot laps. This is all about getting around the track safely, using safe braking markers so we can get round in a safe manner and finish the race. If you want hot laps, there's loads on YouTube that you can go and watch. So usual Learn the Track stuff. We'll do a couple of slow laps, talk about what I use as my braking markers and reference points. Bear in mind these are mine, you might have to adapt yours slightly just to suit you. So we'll do a couple of slow laps, then we'll try and pick up the pace, show you those braking markers in action. We'll talk about pit exit, we'll try and simulate a pit entry and just have a little chat about the track and what I think makes a half decent lap around Catalunya. Right, let's get cracking. Right, so here we are in the car. We've not done a lap yet. I did a couple of laps of practice earlier on. So we'll talk about pit exit as we leave the pits. So there's nothing too difficult about the pit exit at Catalunya until, of course, you get to turn one. So it's flat out down here, all the way down to the end. And braking markers for turn one, coming out the pits, is the same braking marker that I use going into turn one. So it's the 100 board. You can just see it on the left hand side there, and I'm trying to think what is directly opposite. So it's just the end of this green, or just before the end of the green on the right hand side there. That's what I use to brake when I come out the pits. Now bear in mind you can't cross this white line until you get to this solid white line where the blue cone is, and that's pretty much where people are going to be turning in coming into turn one. So all I would say is keep an eye on your relative box as you exit the pits. If there's somebody much quicker than you, let them go. It's not really worth crashing out. So just let them go, or if you're battling for it, just bear that in mind that they're going to be wanting to take that position. So we'll talk about this next section next time round. However, I will say that it's easy to get off track on there, so you can't cut too much of that curb. Now this one, exiting that turn there, I accelerate all the way up to the apex, and then when I get to the apex I just trail brake slightly, and if you see this patch of grass on the right hand side, the dirty section next to the curb, it's quite wide at that point. You can see it widens and then it narrows again, and when it narrows, that's when I get on the gas out of this turn. So you can see it's quite wide, but then it narrows there. That's my cue to get on the gas, because this is a long opening turn where you can be on the gas earlier than you think. The car will run wide, but use that as your cue to get on the gas. This turn I use the bridge as my braking marker. So you've got this curb here that goes to yellow. So pretty much halfway down this curb we're going to be braking in a straight line, and we're going to be apexing this turn quite late. So I brake just before the bridge. Don't go on the curb, because we want to be going further down than that yellow and black stripe curb goes. So try to stay off the curb here. So we're braking before the bridge all the way down to second gear, because we're going to be apexing this one quite late. And then once you've brake, you trail brake all the way around, and then as soon as the apex starts to come to you there, you can be right back on the gas. Really easy to go wide here. And bear in mind, once you've gone to the left hand side of this circuit, we need to get it right back over to the right hand side for the next braking marker, the next braking point. So this one here, there's not a great deal to use as reference points here, but there are three lights. I don't know if you can see them there. I'll move my cursor. So there's that one there, that one there, that one there. So there's these three lights. I generally use this one as my reference point and brake just before that one. So you see it there. So just as it goes out of my screen on my main monitor, so there it is, it's just in view there on my center screen. That's when I start to brake. So maybe just before that actually. So down into second gear, but if you overcook this one, it's not too bad because you can apex this one quite late. So here you can use a little bit of this green, but not too much. Any more than that and you're probably getting off track. You can also use that green area there, no problem. So this one, quite a tricky turn this one. I've been braking quite late here and it's not been doing me any good at all. So I brake just before the curb on the right hand side. So where that white triangular section is, just before there, I brake because I think that a better exit out of here is much better than a better entry. You'll gain more on exit. So down into third gear, second gear if the car's understeering, use second gear just to get the rear to rotate and swing round. So you can cut a little bit of this inside curb, not too much, and the car will probably go out here. So just mind that yellow sausage, and then up to this next turn here. Again, a tricky one because it's flat, kind of goes off camber. It's a horrible turn this one, but I use the end of the curb as my reference point here. So you get to the end of the curb and you brake, you trail brake all the way till the car hits the apex. So you trail brake and then on the gas, because you can use quite a bit of the runoff here. Any more than that and you go off track. So you can use most of the green there. So all the way down here, flat out, that's my braking marker. Where the F is, just before the 100, round about there or just after, is what I use as my braking marker. Down here, first or second gear, I tend to like second gear better, to be honest. So we're braking in a straight line, and then we're going to be apexing this one quite late and powering out. Don't go any further over here because you will get a slow down penalty if you go too wide on there. There we go, we've got one. Then you can cut this curb. It's a bit bumpy, just be careful, but then as soon as the car goes over those curbs and bumps, you pretty much want to be on the brake for this next right turn. What I do, I brake and I trail brake all the way around, and I kind of use this as a double apex really, and then as soon as I see that yellow sausage, that's my cue to get on the gas. And again, you can use a little bit of runoff on exit, but there's not as much AstroTurf there. Braking marker here, this one's tricky because there's nothing really. As the track gets used and there's more rubber laid down, there will be a dark section on the curb there, but if the track's had little use, there isn't any. So as soon as it comes into my view, that's my braking marker. So I'm looking for that corner on the right hand side there. There it is. So as soon as I can see it, I'm down into second gear, just trail braking all the way around just to get the car to rotate, then back over, and this is my braking marker on the right hand side. So all this happens very, very quickly. So when I'm doing it a bit quicker, there won't be much time for me to commentate going around there. So the curb on the right hand side, just after that curb, is my braking marker if I'm over on that right hand side. If I'm over to the left, it's going to be a little earlier because I need less speed. So if I'm over to the right, I use the curb on there as my braking marker. So I'm going to be down into second gear. Try and keep the car over to the left as much as you can at this point, because you want a good run out this turn here. You can use all of this AstroTurf, just get back on before the grass, and then round this last turn onto the start finish straight. You might need, depending on what setup you've got going around here, you might need just a little lift of the throttle going around here just to get the car round, but you can use the AstroTurf on exit, no problem. Use all this, but if you just go off the AstroTurf, it's an off track. So turn one, I mentioned it earlier on, but my braking marker, you'll see it here, just coming up on the left hand side. You'll see two boxes there. That's the easiest way to spot it there. There's the two green light, the two yellow lights, the caution lights or whatever they are, and then there's the 100 board. So you can see those in the distance quite early on before you can see the number 100. That's what I use as my braking marker. So we're on the curb all the way down into second gear for this one. I like to use second and turn in, but you can use a little bit of this. There is a sausage there, but if you hit it just right, you could just go just over it. I believe you can. I believe you can just go just over it and you don't get an off track. But anyway, just get round there and then get the car over to the right hand side if you can, because you want to open up this left hander. So like I said before, you get an off track on here, but you can quite happily put two wheels over the curb, the red and white curb there, there's no problem. And then we're accelerating up towards the apex. As soon as you get to the apex, we're on the brakes, trail braking all the way around, waiting for that grass to, or the brown strip to become narrower there. I'll show you that once more, if we can see it. So there, it's wide there at that point. So it's wide and then it narrows there. So when that narrows, we're on the gas, because this is really important to get on the gas early here. So then using the bridge is my braking marker, not going on the curb. So we're all the way down into second gear, a late apex for this one. As soon as the car starts to head towards the apex, you can be on the accelerator. Watch the car doesn't run wide, but then we need to get it off to the left. Looking for that second light there. Down into second gear, being patient here. Let the car run wide all the way onto the grass, or the grass looking AstroTurf. So braking just before the curb, in third gear. You can use second if you wish. On the gas as soon as you're on the apex there. Up the hill using the end of the curb. So we're braking, trail braking. As soon as we get to the apex, we're on the gas. Let the car run out wide onto the AstroTurf. So we're using that square board there on the right. So we're braking there all the way down into second or first gear if you wish. Be patient on the gas here. So we're going to jump this curb, and then as soon as we land, we're going to be back down, second gear, double apex. There's the yellow sausage, so that means that we're on the gas. So waiting for that to come into view. There it is. So turn in early, get the car over to the right. There's the curb there, so we're braking for that one. Keep the car over to the left, opens up the right because we want a good run out of that chicane onto the final straight. So if you need to lift going around there, you can, or you'll need to on the, depending on which setup you're running. Right, so we'll try and pick up the pace a little bit now. So we'll look for those two squares, I can see them there, so that's the 100 board. So we're going to brake there down in second gear. So our brake's a little bit late there. So then we're going to head for the apex, and then we're going to trail brake. There's the grass getting narrow, so we can accelerate. So we're looking to brake just before the bridge. I've just noticed the track temperature, that's why I ran a little bit wide into turn one. Holy cow, 48 degrees. So get the car over to the right hand side. So we'll be braking earlier because of the track temperature. Just leave it in second gear there, don't go into first gear. So we're braking before this curb now, because obviously temps are up, which means times are down. Less grip. So at the end of the curb we're going to be braking, trail braking all the way to the apex. As soon as we hit the apex, we're back on the gas. So looking at that square box on the right hand side there, that's our braking marker. So there we go, down into second gear, late apex. You can use first if you wish there. I just find that drives better coming out in second gear. So double apex for this one. There's the sausage, so we're back on the gas there. And then as soon as we see it, braking, get the car over to the right hand side, braking at the curb, open up that right hander there, then on the gas. We'll try one more lap. So we need to lift there because the car wasn't going to get round because of the temperature. You can see I got an off track there. My wheels were just slightly on the grass. Got my reference car on there, don't want that. So you can hit that sausage there, cut this one a tiny bit. Then we're going to head for the apex, and then we're going to trail brake. Grass goes narrow, there it is. Back on the gas. So just before the bridge, we're going to be braking in a straight line. Down into second gear, trail brake, apex will come back to us, then we're back on the gas. Get the car over to the right hand side for this next left, looking for that second light, there it is. We're having to brake much earlier than I was in the practice session for that one, just because of the temperatures. So don't wait until you get to that light before you start to brake. So you can go that AstroTurf there a little bit, just miss that sausage there. So in the third gear, trail brake. As soon as you get to the apex, we're on the gas. Use all of the track. So we'll try first gear for this one now. So we're braking all the way down to first gear. I just think the drive is much better. You get less wheel spin in second gear without there. So there's the sausage, that's on the gas at that point. That's our acceleration point. So see it in view there now, down to second. Get the car over to the right. Braking when we get to the curb. Open up that right there, that'll do. So nice and tight, just a little lift just to stop the car under steering. That's a little bit quicker, 46.4. I was down to 45.1 or something in practice earlier on. Right, we'll do we'll simulate a pit entry now. There's not much grip when the temperature's up on track, not much grip at all. So we'll try second gear here so you can see the difference. Just helps the car to rotate a little bit, but you will get potentially a little bit more wheel spin on exit. Second gear this time. Just feel the exit so much more smooth in second gear. So we'll do a pit entry now, and then we'll go into the replay and I'll show you exactly where I braked, what I use. So you will have to lift going round here just to get the car on so you don't hit the wall. So that's as close as we want to get it there, but I'll show you what I use there as my braking marker. Bear with me, I'll just get out the car. So as you can see, there is, you pass this little box here on the left, and then there's this post there. I'll go in the car so you can see it. This one here. So just before that, that's where we want to be braking. So if you watch my inputs there, I'm on the brakes there, and if we get out the car, you can see I'm just there. So that's what I use as my braking marker. And the pit limit is 80 kilometers an hour. So if I watch my speed, how close do I get? So I'm braking quite hard there if you look. So it just gets under before we go over. So that's as close as you want to get it. It just gets under. So just before that, I would suggest to be safe. Just a fraction earlier than that. So where are we? So we can see it there. So yes, so when it's in your view, round about there, that's when I would be starting to brake. Pit exit we discussed. There's not a lot more to talk about that than Catalonia. Temperatures are going to play a huge factor this week. Yeah, I was down to, I think I got a 44 something in practice yesterday, just on a test session. And I got a 45.1 earlier on, and I think track temp was about 44. That was 48, and I got a 46.4, so a lot slower than what I've had previously. Right, hope this helps. If I'm doing something that I shouldn't be doing, let me know in the comments. We can work together. Teamwork makes the dream work. All I ask, if you give it a like, that would be greatly appreciated. If it helps, let me know. Hope to see you on track. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you later.